Good morning, everyone. Chef Exline in the Digital Content Center. It is a Monday, March the 24th, and the big weather headline today is the wind. The wind is picking up out there today, and it will get higher in terms of gusts as we head into the afternoon hours. Look for high wind gusts over 40, maybe as high as 45 miles per hour in some areas. So if you have anything outdoors that you need to secure, bring in, you may want to do so now before the winds really pick up here into the second half of the day today. And otherwise, it's the sun's out, so that's a good news. We didn't see a whole lot of sun over the past weekend, and we saw clouds and even some showers of graupel on Saturday. At least it went through my house, a brief shower of graupel. And on Sunday, of course, we ended the day with rain during the evening hours, but there wasn't a whole lot of sun over the weekend. We're squeezing out some sunshine. Looking at the highlights of the week, it looks like we'll get into a chilly stretch middle of the week briefly and then warm up later in the week. The upcoming weekend could feature temperatures in the 70s. So get ready for some warmer temperatures for the upcoming weekend. Again, the big story, though, will be the winds as we head into the afternoon hours with those high wind gusts this afternoon. There's a live look outside. The sun is shining all across the area right now in Steubenville, Wheeling, New Martinsville, Caddis, up and down the Ohio Valley and every community in between. It is a sunny but kind of a breezy, windy day. The winds right now at Ohio County Airport out of the southwest at 15, gusting to 26. The temperature is 48. Last week we had... was that last? Yeah, I believe it was last week when we had the high threat of fires. We had red flag warnings. The relative humidity was a lot lower. So that's one thing that's helping out today, but still pretty windy out there. You don't want to be burning anything, and those winds will only be increasing as we head through the afternoon hours. So temperatures are in the upper 40s right now. We'll rebound into the middle 50s, it looks like, for this afternoon when it comes to the temperature. The wind speed right now in Wintersville, 21 miles per hour, and we're seeing some gusts around 21 miles per hour in Wintersville. Notice, though, Mansfield, Toledo, Cleveland, they're all experiencing wind gusts currently of 40 plus miles per hour. So this is what we'll be sliding on in for the second half of the day today, some of those higher wind gusts. So there you could see our forecast wind gusts for today, and a peak here, at least from this particular model, of upwards of 45 plus miles per hour early in the afternoon. So the strongest winds will be occurring from about noon through 6 p.m. That's when wind gusts over 35 miles per hour are anticipated. It's sustained winds out of the southwest at 15 to 20. And this is kind of typical to get these breezy, windy days here in March, especially when you get into the sunshine, as we are tapping into some higher winds aloft that can be drawn down into the surface. So get ready for a windy afternoon. So that's a look at your wind gusts for today. If it's your garbage day on a Monday, I know it's my parents' garbage day, the winds could be knocking those garbage cans around a little bit. So look at the forecast here over the next several hours. Upper 40s now will give way to temperatures in the 50s, 50 degrees at noon. Mid 50s should do it this afternoon. No threat of rain, but it will be windy, and the temperature will drop down into the upper 40s again by 9 o'clock this evening, and around 44 by midnight tonight with a mainly clear sky. Overnight low temperatures tomorrow morning around 34 degrees. So let's see where we're headed when it comes to our temperatures. And we are looking at temperatures in the 50s today, low 50s tomorrow. There's that cooler stretch of weather that I was referring to, especially on Wednesday with a high temperature, probably not getting out of the 40s. And then later in the week, it starts to warm up into the 60s Friday and possibly 70s over the upcoming weekend. And then after the weekend, it looks like the temperature will drop back down again into the 50s for highs come early next week. So that is what we're looking at here. Let's see. Sandy was commenting about the winds here. She's saying that hello from Wetzel County, tied on the garbage cans. Yeah, they could be blowing around today. And yeah, March is a good kite flying month. Why not? Anytime it's windy, you can go fly a kite. But yeah, in the springtime, we often think of kite flying season. But March can be known for some of those gusty winds like we are seeing today. Now, last night, it wasn't the wind that we saw, but we did see some rain last night. You can see it's a rainy morning, Monday morning, from our nation's capital up the I-95 corridor up towards New York City. And then you get north of Boston, the rain changes to snow into portions of New England right now. So that's a look at a messy East Coast weather today while we are drying out. You look up here towards Detroit and Michigan, they are seeing some snow showers as well. So definitely some snow around us just to our north of Detroit and north of Boston, but nowhere near us, I guess you could say. Rainfall over the last 24 hours in Wheeling, West Virginia was about 1/4 of an inch. And Andrew wants to know, are we getting any snow tonight? And the quick answer to that one, Andrew, is no snow tonight. We'll have a mainly clear sky tonight, so no snow. But we did pick up rainfall, about 1/4 of an inch of rainfall at the Ohio County Airport last night. And, we need the rain. I've been talking about this now for a while now that going back to last year, it has been very dry. And the beginning of this year has been dry. We're off to a dry start again with precipitation running close to 3 inches below normal for the year now. And for the month, that 1/4 of an inch brought us up to 88 of an inch of rain. So we are 1 1/4 inches below normal for the month of March. So will we have any more rain? And Andrew was asking about snow. No snow for us tonight, but I'll show you where there could be a few snowflakes, Andrew, this week. Small chance of that happening. Nothing to really get worried about. All the snow today is going to be across Michigan, up into New England and into Canada. That's where they'll be seeing snow. No snow around here. See that area of rain shower activity around the Dakotas? That's going to slide southeastward. And by later in the day tomorrow, we could see some of these light rain showers. I do want to stress that the showers of rain are going to be pretty light in the day tomorrow, later in the afternoon, especially southern areas, a little more favored to see a little bit in the way of some light rain shower activity. But we are seeing at least the threat of a little bit of light rain showers into tomorrow evening. And then as we head into Wednesday, that's where we could see maybe a few flakes coming downwind of the Great Lakes on Wednesday, but nothing significant. It could be a shower of grapple or a snowflake mixed in with some rain showers, and they are going to be scattered. So later Tuesday, Tuesday's favoring the southern part of the viewing area for a few rain showers. And then on Wednesday, probably the northern part of the viewing area for a few snowflakes. Nothing of significance, though. But there you can see the dip in the temperatures in your 9+1 day with highs in the mid-40s Wednesday. The coldest morning this week is going to be Thursday morning with a low of 28. And then on Thursday, we'll see a high of 57 with sunshine. Nice looking day on Thursday. Friday, a few showers are possible with a high of 62. Right now, leaning towards a dry Saturday, though. And, those showers Friday may come Friday evening, so we may squeeze out a pretty nice day Friday as well. And then Saturday's leaning towards some dry weather with showers coming back later Sunday, maybe a thunderstorm. We'll have to watch out that potential as a cold front comes through, and you can see how it'll knock down the temperatures there Sunday into Monday. Highs go from 70s to 50s again for early next week, next Monday and Tuesday. So let's see. Kyle is asking about, have we had above average month temperatures for March so far, or right around normal? Well, we are above average, I believe, overall. March is one of those months though where what is normal in March? What is a normal high? What is a normal low? It's really we call it normal sometimes, but what it really is a 30-year average. So that's the average high today is 53. So you take the last 30 years of today's temperature and you add it up and divide by 30 and you get 53. But there are some days where it could be in the 70s and like we saw last week, even a few days up near 80, and then there could be some days where it's in the 30s. So to get an average temperature in March is pretty tough because it's just one of those months where it's fluctuating. But temperatures have been running above average overall for the month of March. I don't have them on hand here exactly. I could try looking them up while I'm talking. Let's see if I can multitask here a little bit here to show you, to see how much above average we are for the month of March when it comes to temperatures. I know we are above normal. The question is, how much above normal are we? Let's see if we can get that information as I look it up. But, it's a couple of those days with high temperatures of 80 degrees, 2 days, in fact, with high temperatures of 80 degrees really put us above normal. So for the month, looks like, it can't, average monthly is 48.1 degrees. That seems a little off. What I'm looking at says departure from normal is 9.1. I doubt that it was that. It's been that warm. I'll have to, now I'm really curious. I'll have to check out another a site here. That seems a little high to me. I don't think we've been 9.1 above average for the month. That seems really high. Could be Pittsburgh 7.7. So it could be that we've been at much above average for the month. Yeah, I didn't think we were going to be that much above average, but we are. So 9.1 exactly for Ohio County Airport, 7.7 for Pittsburgh. What do you think? Oh, all kind of questions here filling up here. Let's see. Easter snows. Let's see. What do you think about an Easter snow, says Sandy? It's happened. A chance of it snowing on Easter, it's not, I'd put it less than Christmas, which is, of course, even low as it is. But it has happened. It is kind of funny that I think there's, I hear this a lot about people asking about Easter snow, and they say we always have an Easter snow, and that's not always the case. It doesn't snow on Easter all the time, but I think there were Easters back in our memory where we remember it snowing. I remember one year in the 80s, I remember it snowing on Easter Sunday, and I thought that was, crazy. But I mean, the majority of the time it doesn't snow on Easter. I think it's a low chance, and not zero chance, Sandy, but a low chance that we'd see snow on Easter, which is coming up. And Easter's kind of late this year too, so I would say lean towards probably not an Easter snow, because Easter's pretty late in the game this year. Charlene says, "Good afternoon, Jeff. I'm visiting my son and family in New Martinsville, going back to New Cumberland, and had rain last night, but a nice sunny day." Yeah, it is a nice sunny day. And Charlene, as you're driving back and forth today, you're going to notice those winds picking up here this afternoon, as that's the big story here. The winds gusting upwards of 40 plus miles per hour today into the afternoon hours. So the strongest winds will be occurring this afternoon. And that's where we can see some of those high wind gusts. I'll put up a map there, or a graphic showing you again some of the high winds today. So that's the big story today. It is, we had a little bit of rain yesterday, but now it is sunny, but it is also quite windy, and it's about to get windier this afternoon. So if it's your trash day today, and you have the trash people came and emptied the trash, and your trash cans are out there, there's a good chance they're going to get knocked over this afternoon, blown around with those high wind gusts. So if you see the trash guys come through and pick up your trash, you may want to bring in the trash can, secure them where they need to be, or otherwise they're going to be blown around today. And let's see. And Charlie says, when my kids were small, had snow kid hunts in the 80s. I remember that one. It was in I don't know the exact year, but there was one of those years in the 80s in which we did have some snow. And again, the date of Easter fluctuates so much. The date of Easter is actually determined by, it's not one of those set holidays. We know Christmas is December 25th. We know the 4th of July is the 4th of July, but the date of Easter is determined by the full moon and the vernal equinox. So the Sunday after the first full moon that occurs after the vernal equinox is the date of Easter. So it can be as early as, late March, around the first day of spring. You get that moon, right, first day of spring, full moon right away. And then Easter Sunday could be real early, in March, or it could be later in April, because the full moon occurs later after. So we just had last week the vernal equinox. Now we're going to have to wait for the first full moon. And then that Sunday after that first full moon is the date of Easter. And this year it's later in April. And you would think I would know the date of Easter off the top of my head, but I do not know the date of Easter. It's a Monday. It's what is it, the 20th is Easter? Yeah, 20th, April 20th is Easter. So, and I'm trying to think when the full moon is. I'll go look that up. I should have came prepared. I didn't. If the next full moon. So this determines the day. So the next full moon is March 14th, and because of that following Sunday would be the 20th, and that is why Easter is the Or no. Now I'm in March. Nah, that's the wrong one. I want the April full moon. That one already passed. Okay, so see, March 14th came before the vernal equinox. This gets complicated. So the vernal equinox was last week, and now the next moon is April the 12th. That's Saturday, April the 12th. The next Sunday, the following Sunday, is when Easter would be. And that is going to be on the 20th, which for some reason now I'm looking at it. Why wouldn't it be April the 13th? You would think they would determine that. But anyhow, Easter is April the 20th. But hey, what I was getting at is the date of Easter is it does fluctuate year to year based on when the full moon occurs after the vernal equinox. And let's see. Do you think our severe weather season will be bad? I mean, we had a high number of tornadoes last year. It's kind of interesting. It does seem like our tornadoes are increasing. Some of that, though, may not be related to the weather actually getting worse, and a lot of that actually may be because of more technology that we didn't have back in the day. And we had a graphic here. Amanda and I came up with one. We were on a site. I'm going to pull it up here for you. These are all the different tornadoes paths from 1800 to 2025. I can make this full screen here for you so you can sort of see it. So all those are the different tornado paths across our region. And one of the strongest ones ever was that EF4 tornado. Some of these go way back, in time, but we've seen an increase in the number of tornadoes lately. But part of that is due to that there's more technology, meaning from the National Weather Service. And meteorologists are look at radar, and they can look inside of storms and they can detect a rotation. So if they put out a warning for a storm and it does some damage, they go out and, survey what happened, and, gets determined as a tornado. Most of our tornadoes are the weaker variety of the EF0, 1s, and 2s. It's pretty rare for us to get an EF3, 4, or 5. Very rare, in fact. In our local area, at least, we haven't had an EF5 tornado. North up towards I-80, back in the 1980s, there was an EF5 tornado up towards Youngstown and Sharon, PA, Northwest PA, those areas. But we have seen an uptick in the number of tornado reports, I think, mainly because of that. The technology is better. And everyone has a phone these days. They have video. So we're able to document tornadoes, where I think in the past there were probably tornadoes, but they just, you didn't hear about them as much, or they just got swept under the rug as well. It was probably a high wind gust or something that caused that damage, and it wasn't because nobody went out and looked at it. So, but getting back to the question, do you think it'll be bad this year? I don't think it'll be overly bad, but anytime when we go from our severe weather season is more so later compared to a lot of the country. Ours is more late May into early June. So that's the time to watch out for locally. A lot of our severe weather events, the Shady Side flood in June, it's just a lot of our severe weather events, if you looked at it, it's during that late May through early June timeframe. So that's when you really want to be weather aware. But even in the summertime, thunderstorms can cause problems. But there isn't like a clear signal, I guess, for a lot of bad severe weather. If we were to see more troughiness in the east, that could lead to a higher uptick in severe weather season. But we're not seeing anything like that so far. If anything, we've been seeing below normal precipitation. And if that trend continues, we could have a hot, dry summer. But I'm getting ahead of myself right there when it comes to the summertime, as that's a long ways out there. But as we're still only on March 24th, although I don't know about you, but this March, we're just looking at the calendar here, March 24th, it's like, where did March go all of a sudden? It is, time is flying. Okay, so that's all I have for you. It's going to be a windy afternoon. That's the big story here today. Wind gusts over 40 miles per hour, but it will be a sunny one. We get up in the mid-50s today, and then that low temperature tonight is going to drop down to around 34 with a mainly clear sky, no precipitation tonight. And tomorrow we'll see increasing clouds. Could be a few showers later in the day, especially south of I-70. High temperatures tomorrow, low 50s. The coolest day of the week is Wednesday with a high of 46. I wouldn't be shocked if somebody saw a few snowflakes during the first half of the day or so on Wednesday, or, a little grapple shower like we had on Saturday. And then the coldest morning of the week is Thursday with a low of 28. The warmest day of the week should be Saturday with a high of 72. The showers that you see Friday could come Friday evening, Friday night. If that's the case, Thursday and Friday look to be some good days to get outdoors. And Saturday, way it's looking right now, could be a really nice day to get outdoors with 70s, and then more showers in the forecast Sunday. Timing of that may be pushed back a little bit, and there could be some thunder later Sunday into Monday, because you'll see there our temperature goes out of the 70s and into the 50s again early in the week. So typically when you see a cool down and a big drop in temperatures this time of year, that often equates to some thunderstorms. But the timing of when that can occur Sunday, I would lean towards later in the day right now, is a little up in question, a little up in air this far out here, being it on a Monday. So that's all I have for you. We have more weather for you. I'll take a look at some of the new information coming in and see if I need to make any adjustments to the forecast on News 9 midday. And Bill will have the latest news of the day on midday as well. I know Bill's Philip, he was talking about National Cheese Steak Day. I almost wanted to say cheesecake. It's probably because I had cheesecake over the weekend, but Cheese Steak Day is today. It's also National Chocolate Covered Raisins Day. So if you're celebrating both holidays, be careful. The wind could blow away your cheese steak or your chocolate covered raisins today with those high wind gusts this afternoon. Have a great day, everyone. Enjoy the sunshine, and I'll see you on News 9.